Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Wednesday, August 17th slate of MLB action. I'm super excited to dive into it. Hopefully we don't end on any more hooks. We will get into that here in just a minute. But we have just had some absolutely crazy beats over the last couple days. So hopefully we can turn that back around starting today. But without any further ado, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. You guys have been showing some crazy support here recently. So we are actually less than 250 subscribers away from that 7,000 mark, so hopefully we can hit that by the time that the NBA season does start, so that way I can do a giveaway for you guys, show you guys just how much you guys mean to me. So thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Also, quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving me such a small channel, such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, way more than you guys will ever know, truly. So thank you guys for that absolutely so much. Next, I did just want to address, I will be taking, you guys are watching this on Wednesday, I will be taking Thursday off for videos. And the reason being is because I am actually going to be traveling to St. Louis from my house, which is roughly about 4.5 to 5 hours. I am going to be going to the Colorado Rockies and the St. Louis Cardinals game. I will be in attendance there. And so by the time that the game's over and I drive back home, it'll be like 3 in the morning, and I just don't think there's going to be any way that I can make a video. I don't think it's going to be possible. I will still post plays, though. I will post plays on my community page here on YouTube and also on my Twitter. So make sure to hit me up with make sure to hit me up with a follow on Twitter. You guys can check it out there, and also check out this community tab a little bit later in the day. I'll probably post my plays for Thursday, probably around like 11-ish, 10-ish, something like that. It'll be like late morning, pushing into the afternoon. But without any further ado, I did just want to get that out of the way, just so you guys were aware of it. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and do a quick recap from yesterday. 1 and 2 day, I have been just having the absolute worst luck. I truly have been, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. So we did have the Dodgers money line versus Milwaukee. That game, at the time recording this, it literally just got over, and it went all the way to 11 innings. 11 innings, and they ended up blowing it. They took the lead at the top of the 11th and then gave up a 2-run single in the bottom of the 11th to go ahead and win. So very, very unfortunate for the Dodgers. I just can't, I really, it was very tough. They ended up losing by 1 at the end of the day. Dodgers also had, I think it was 2 runners on base at the time of the top of the 11th. Could not get any more runners going. I think that they would have gotten 1 more run. I think we could have been looking at a different ball game, but, you know, it is what it is. Then we had the Astros and the White Sox. First 5, under 3.5. Oh, my goodness. This one was an absolute sweat as well. But I think it was the top of the 4th. Jose Altuve ends up hitting a solo home run. Ends up finishing right at 4. And then there's like almost no runs scored until like the 8th inning. So very unfortunate for that one. But we did have the Phillies minus 1.5 versus Cincinnati. They were finally able to get it done for us. So that one was good. I knew that the other day was fluky. I went ahead and doubled back on it, and it ended up working out for us. So, but let's just step back and look at this. So as of yesterday, at the time of recording this, as of yesterday, we had the Dodgers money line. Ended up losing by 1 run. We had the Astros and the Sox. First 5, under 3.5. They ended up with 4. Finished right on the hook. Then, the day before that, Mariners and the Angels, under 3.5 in the first 5. A solo shot. Makes it 4 runs in the first 5 innings. Loses by just barely. Then we had the Phillies, minus 1.5. They end up winning by just 1. This is a crazy amount of hooks. I mean, this is just a really, really unlucky stretch that we're on. So hopefully we can turn that around today. I do have 3 plays. One of them is going to be in the game that I am going to be at. Just going to be something that, you know, I can root for while I'm there. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Our first play of the day, we're going to be taking the Baltimore Orioles, red hot Orioles, plus 1.5 here versus Toronto at minus 135 odds. Now, I know, this is going to be Toronto at home. It's definitely the best spot to fade them. Baltimore is also a really good road team, though. They're 39-23 to the run line on the road. Toronto, they are 20, which is the best in the MLB, by the way. Toronto is 23-37 to the run line at home this year, which is the 7th worst home run line home run line in the entire MLB, run line record in the entire MLB. Wow, I really had a hard time talking right now. But also Baltimore has they are coming off 2 straight victories here versus Toronto, so I do think they can get that third one. I don't know if they'll win. I do think that Toronto actually ends up winning this one, just to basically, prevent people from winning that plus money. But I do think they keep it close for sure. Also, in the last 3 games, Baltimore, they are 18th when it comes to runs per game, so definitely nothing too crazy, but Toronto is 25th. So they do have a little bit of an advantage here recently when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. And on the defensive side of the ball, Baltimore is 14th when it comes to runs allowed over the course of the whole season. Toronto is 17th. So Baltimore does have a little bit better of a defense as well, so hopefully they can contain that Toronto offense. And Toronto has not covered their run line, whatever it was, in 10 straight games. They have seriously struggled here, and I don't really foresee that changing here today. Also, Austin Voth is going to be on the mound here for Baltimore. He has been pretty solid. I know he has a 5.34 ERA over the season. I know that's not good, obviously. But if you take a look at his last 3 road starts, he does have an earned run log of 2, 0, and 0. So he has actually been pretty solid. And if you look at his last 5 games, he's pitched 20.2 innings, so definitely not a whole lot, but he does have a 2.61 ERA over those last 5 games. So it is a lot of the bullpen, and that does not bother me any at all, and we'll get to that. But Ross Stripling is going to be on the mound here for Toronto with a 3.16 ERA over the course of the season, and his earned run logs of 2, 2, 0, 2, and 3. So he is pretty consistent around that 2 to 3 range. So I do think he will finish right around that against the O's as well. So hopefully he does, pitch a little bit worse, but definitely nothing too bad to worry about. And when it comes to the bullpens, like I said, Austin Voth doesn't pitch super late into the games. In Baltimore, they have the 3rd best bullpen ERA in the entire MLB. Toronto is 14th. So we do see a pretty big advantage there for Baltimore as well. So we're going to be riding with it. The Red Hot O's plus 1.5 here versus Toronto at minus 135 odds. Now for our second play of the day, we're going to be taking the Tigers and the Guardians under 8 runs at minus 120 odds. I really love this play. If you were to ask me what my favorite play is, this is the one. Here's why. Tigers are the best under team in the entire MLB with a record of 67, 42, and 10 to the under in the entire over the course of the whole season. They've been fantastic. Cleveland is just about as 500 as you can get when it comes to the over or the under. They are 55, 55, and 7 when it comes to the under for the whole season, and 26 and 26 and 2 when it comes to the under at home. So, like I said, almost the most 500 team that you can get. But Detroit is dead last when it comes to runs per game. Now, Cleveland, not so much. They are kind of in that middle tier when it comes to runs per game, but they do average 0.41 fewer runs per game at home. So I do think that's a pretty good spot to target. Also, Cleveland's a pretty good defense. So just in case if the Detroit Tigers do decide to get hot for whatever reason, I do think that Cleveland can hold them back. Cleveland, they do allow the 12th fewest runs per game in the entire MLB. Detroit, they're at 20th, so they're not nearly as good of a defense, but I do think their pitching makes up for it a little bit. If you take a look at who's on the mound for Detroit, we have Daniel Norris. Now, I know, not a very popular name, but he does have a 5.97 ERA. Definitely not good. But he has pitched pretty good here on the road. He does have a 3.78 ERA on the road so far this year. In his last 5 games, though, he has a 1.08 ERA. And they've been against pretty okay offenses, so I do think that he can get it done here for us. And he has an earned run log of 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0. So he has been really, really good, and I don't really expect that to be changing at all. And Cal Quantrill is going to be on the mound here for Cleveland. He's obviously been pretty decent. He is a little bit erratic, but I do think that he can get it done here for us. He does have a 3.67 ERA over the course of the season, 3.16 in his last 5 games are at home, and 2.7 ERA versus Detroit. So I do think it's a pretty good spot to target. He has pitched pretty good versus Detroit. Hopefully he can keep that up here for us. And he has 0 earned runs in his last 2 starts, and they've been against pretty solid offenses versus Toronto and Houston. I know Toronto has been struggling, but I'm not too worried about that. They're still a good offense nonetheless. And so the fact that he did give up 0 earned runs, I think that does speak volume. Also, when it comes to the bullpen, not worried about either of these. Detroit, they are 6th in bullpen ERA, and Cleveland's 9th. Both these teams are in the top 10. I don't worry about it whatsoever. That's going to be our second play of the day. Tigers and the Guardians under 8 runs at minus 120 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we're going to be taking the Rockies and the St. Louis Cardinals no-run first inning at minus 140 odds. I know this one's juiced, but I do think it's going to be a fun bet. I will be there. I'll be in the second section right above home plate, so just in case if you guys do see me, make sure you guys do tag me on Twitter or something. I will be in a light blue Cardinals uniform. I bought one, so that's what I'll be wearing. But the over-under for this game is going to be set to 7. The first 5 is set to 3.5. They don't expect a lot of runs to be scored here. And Herman Marquez is going to be on the mound here for Colorado. Does have a 3.23 ERA in his last 5 games, a 3.0 versus St. Louis so far this year. And he has in his last 5 first innings, he has pitched 4 shutouts. So hopefully he can do that for us again. And Jordan Montgomery is going to be on the mound for St. Louis. Definitely one of their best pitchers. He has a 3.37 ERA over the course of the season, 3.13 at home, and 0 earned runs in his last 2 starts, which have been against good offenses in Milwaukee and New York. So I don't really have a problem when it comes to the St. Louis side of things. I think they'll get it done. I do just worry about Colorado. So hopefully it does end up working out for us. I just want to be able to have fun, sweat out that first inning, and then after that, I can just enjoy the game. So that is going to be our third and final play of the day. Rockies and the Cardinals no-run first inning at minus 140 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.